I'm an epidemiologist. I'm a former family physician. So I'm a medically trained epidemiologist. And what I mainly do is research synthesis. I get information on a health topic and I synthesize it, having appraised it by its quality, by its methodology. I've done 17 Cochrane reviews, co-authored 17 Cochrane reviews over 25 years. But Cochrane is a model which I think has now run its course, because Cochrane is anchored on publications. Their main sources of information are publications, and we know that publications the last decade has shown quite clearly that publications of clinical trials overall are not really dependable. There's a lot of fake science, there's a lot of poor science, poor quality science around. And there are a lot of people with conflicts of interest of all kinds, which are monetary but also non-monetary. It's a very, very sad situation. Debate is getting stifled, as you know, from the conference. Shutting up any closing down any kind of debate seems to be the modern McCarthyism. And it's a very worrying situation. And journals, medical journals, are part of the problem. They're not part of the solution. Journals don't want to retract articles, they don't want to correct articles, they don't answer letters that they don't want to answer, and they are vehicles for marketing. They are mainly marketing vehicles. I'm not the first person who says that. Really, the first person who brought that out was Richard Smith, former editor of the BMJ. And it's quite clear that that's what they are, especially the big journals, because they are subscriptions are going down, so they need revenue from the sale of reprints and advertising, conferences, business, and so on. Well, the evidence iceberg is the picture I showed are two icebergs. One's completely below the waterline, so you don't know, you can't see it. And the other one is partly above the waterline. And what sticks out of the waterline are, in the case of clinical trials, the clinical trials which are published in journals and the ones that are registered on registers, on trial registers. These tend to be a few pages worth of information, whereas below the clinical waterline, there's a huge amount of information, tens of thousands of pages. The highest we've calculated is 8,000 pages of material under the waterline for each page above the waterline, so for each page which is published, which makes journal articles an unreliable source of information, regardless of any other distortions. It's simply they are very brief summaries of what is a huge, complicated endeavor. That's a clinical trial to test medicines, biologics, vaccines, implantables, anything which is of major importance to healthcare, any intervention.